Hi everybody, welcome back to Down Home Dietitian. Today we're going to talk about 3 ways you can prepare your garden before you plant to get the best harvest ever. If you grew your own starts from seed and they've been living a cushy life indoors, you're going to have to get them used to the elements of the outdoors before you put them outside in your garden. And that's done through a process called hardening off, where you take your little baby starts and you put them outside first for an hour or 2 at a time in the nice cool evening or morning, and then each day you put them out for longer. So maybe 1 hour the first day, 2 hours the next day, 4 hours the next day, 6 and then 8, and then you can plant your plants outside. If you put them straight outside, you'll shock them and they'll have a really hard time surviving. If you purchase starts from the store, they should already be hardened off and you can put them straight in your garden. You're going to want to make some kind of plan as to how your garden is going to be laid out before you start putting plants in the ground. And you can be fancy with this. There's websites. I've heard good things about Marshall's Garden Visualizer. I use nothing fancy at all. I have a piece of scratch paper and a pencil with a big fat eraser, and I take it out in front of my garden with all my seeds, and I do all kinds of scribbling and moving around just to figure out where I want to put things. You can Google companion planting and find all kinds of information about plants that like to be next to each other or don't. I never worry about that. The only thing I really pay attention to is making sure that plants that need lots of sun, like tomatoes and peppers, are far away from tall plants that are going to create shade like corn and sunflowers. Other than that, I put things where I think they'll look nice, where they'll be easy to maintain, and I just want to make sure that I have room for everything and that I figure out some kind of a layout that's going to make sense. It doesn't have to be fancy, you just want to have some kind of an idea. You're going to want to prepare your soil before you put your plants in. The main thing here is making sure that your soil is loose and well drained, that it has lots of nutrition to help feed those plants. In our case, we have an in-ground garden that we rototill, and so that usually involves either spreading a layer of fertilizer over the whole thing and then rototilling the whole thing, or in this case, we have been running our chickens over the top of our garden space over the course of the winter months, and they've done a great job of fertilizing it. So this year, all that we need is just to till it in. There are so many methods of preparing soil. There are no-dig methods where you don't rototill at all. In your raised beds, you may just need to put a layer of compost on top. It's going to be different depending on your situation. So you can play around with this, find what works best for you, but just make sure that that soil is well draining, has some good nutrition, and nice and soft and ready for your baby plants. All right, folks, now you're just about ready to start putting those babies out in your garden and have them start producing food for you. I'm excited, especially if this is your first year as a gardener, for you to just get to experience how awesome it is to grow your own food and how much more delicious it can be. So if you have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget, healthy doesn't have to be hard.